na cariad, champagne.
Death? There is no death, man. That which you call death does not exist, except in the imagination. People do not understand me when I speak. They cannot comprehend. No sorrowing, and no black clothes.
When Dr. William Price of Llantrisant died, exactly 100 years ago, and at the age of 92, a crowd of people, 20,000 strong, flocked into this small village to see the old man off. Yet, thumbing through a history book just this week, Wales 1800 to 1900, the century that his life spanned, I found that he didn't even merit a mention.
Excuse me, is there anything you can tell me about Dr. William Price?
Never heard of him.
Is there anything you know about Dr. William Price? No. Nothing at all?
No.
He died 100 years ago.
Died 100 years ago.
He was born at Llantrisant, and he's the first man who had cremations at Pontypridd. He had a son called Jesus and a daughter, Mary.
People do know something about Price's life. They know about the cremation, they know about his work as a doctor, they may know about one or two other episodes. But there are some major issues that tend to be forgotten. Price, after all, was a rebel, even a revolutionary at some times. He did declare that he was opposed to the power of those who ran this society.
Price was an individualist, and therefore problematic to historians who have been hard put to pigeonhole him. Too much about him was eccentric, cranky, shady even.
So, at a moment in time when Wales's sense of identity and community is yet again in crisis, perhaps William Price is worth one final look to see if there indeed was some method in his madness.
He was concerned about the cultural identity of this community, which has changed fundamentally in the period since his death. There is something in common, though, between his concerns and ours. William Price has fallen out of our history because the history of the people of South Wales who now speak English does not receive serious attention. We do not, in the media, in the press, on television and radio today, get anything like a full picture of the history, the culture of the community in which we live.
Wales 1800, and a moment of monumental change for the lush hills and crystal streams of the South Wales valleys. The rape of the fair country had begun. Soon a mantle of black dust would cover a scarred and plundered landscape. Coal and iron were to transform the tranquil vales into a vision of hell. This was the Wales then, into which William Price was born, on the night of March the 4th, 1800, the fifth of 7 children, born to the Reverend William Price M.A. and his wife Mary, in a cottage at Tinnacoy Cay in a rural parish of Rydri. Even as a young man, he managed to shock the entire neighbourhood. In good weather, he would undress and expose his naked body to sun and wind alike on the local hillside. This is a habit he might have picked up from his father, who it was rumoured was also something of a naturist. William was a star pupil. He passed all his exams with honours and learned to speak and read English, a language forbidden at home. After 3.5 years with the school, he was offered a post as assistant master, but William had already set his mind firmly on becoming a doctor. At the age of 14, he left home to become assistant to Dr. Evan Edwards of Caerphilly. In 1820, after 5 years with the doctor, he left Caerphilly for London and the Royal College of Surgeons. He shared rooms with a fellow student, Daniel Edwards, brother to his old employer. Both short of cash, they pooled their resources and threw themselves into intensive study. Within 12 months, William Price had passed the examinations of both college and hall, a feat never accomplished in the college's history, either before or since.
We don't know why Dr. Price made the decision to reject a promising career in London and to return to a potentially obscure life in Pontypridd, but it was surely influenced by his Druidic beliefs, his commitment to the Welsh people, and his pride in the beauty of the Welsh landscape. For whatever reasons, it is known that Price became medical officer at Ynys Garrod Works, Pontypridd in 1823, and remained there for many years, gaining a reputation for inspired methods of treatment. Price visited poor and wealthy alike and treated them with herb and flower remedies. A committed vegetarian and naturist, Price said,
All disease is a result of an impure bloodstream caused by wrong and faulty habits of living.
In keeping with his general attitude to life, Price was not content to merely doctor. He applied his skills as an enigmatic orator to lambast the majority of the medical profession for their narrow-mindedness and their profiteering acts of butcherism.
Doctors should be forced to pay the expenses of people they had allowed to fall ill.
Price was not perhaps the most popular of men amongst his medical peers, but he was most certainly regarded with respect by those people for whom he cared, most notably his poorest patients, who benefited from the doctor's private application of a prototype National Health Service, whereby the rich paid handsomely whilst the poor were treated free.
He believed that instead of concentrating on curing symptoms, doctors and society as a whole should look to the causes of ill health and thus deal with the wider implications of the new industrial lifestyle that left many people ill-nourished and at the mercy of unsafe machinery in workplaces and with a growing dependency on prescribed drugs.
I have not seen anybody or anything greater than nature to worship. Man is greater than God, for man created God in his own image.